In Pope Pius II's commentaries, he recounts a war of words between the Prince of Taranto and Skanderbeg. He titled the chapter "The Prince of Taranto Sends Scanderbeg a Letter." His lively and biting reply. Pope Pius II goes on to write, "The Prince of Taranto, on hearing repeated complaints from his subjects, who were fleeing at the very sight of the Albanians, is said to have written a letter with words to this effect:
Giovanni Antonio, Prince of Taranto, to George of Albania, greetings. You whom fortune has made illustrious in war should have pursued to the death that enemy who you once chose to assail in defense of the Christian faith, instead of just adding him a little and then leaving the field to bring your arms into Italy and use them against the Christian people. What have you got against me? What have I ever done to you? What quarrel have we ever had with each other until now? You have ravaged my fields. You have raised bloody havoc amongst my subjects. You have gone to war before declaring it. You call yourself the stout champion of the Christian faith, and yet you persecute the nation that is rightly called most Christian. You've drawn your sword against the French, the rightful masters of the kingdom of Sicily. Did you think perhaps you'd be fighting effeminate Turks, or soft little Greeks, the kind that you're used to stabbing in the back? Here you'll find a different sort of man. Hideous as they say you are, no one will flee from your face. Our soldiers will attack you first. No man of Italian blood is going to fear some piece of shit Albanian. We know your kind. We rate Albanians as highly as we do sheep. We're embarrassed to call this peasant race our foe, and you would never have dared to come on an errand like this if you had the slightest chance of staying home. You fled a Turkish attack. You couldn't protect your own house, so you thought you'd invade another's. Well, you were wrong. Unless you want to live in a tomb, goodbye. George, Lord of Albania, to Giovanni Antonio, Prince of Taranto. Greetings. Since I had made a truce with the enemy of our religion, I did not want to deprive a friend of my help. Alfonso often sent me reinforcements against the Turks when I was in danger. I would be ungrateful indeed if I failed to repay the favor to his son. Alfonso was a king in your eyes, if I recall correctly. Why hasn't the son earned the same regard from you? You did homage to the father, but you want to oust the son? What gives you the right? Who says it's up to you to designate the king of Sicily? Isn't that the Pope's job? I have come to help Ferrante, the son of a king and himself a king, as the Apostolic See decrees, against your treachery and against countless betrayals by the nobles of this realm. You'll pay the price for your disloyalty. You can't perjure yourself with impunity forever. This is why I make war on you, as I am aggrieved now as when I attacked the Turks, for you are no better than a Turk, even though you are baptized, for you have no respect for an oath and no proper feeling for the sacraments of the Church, and you spend more time with Jews than with Christians. And there are those who think you belong to no sect at all, unless to the sect of those who hold that men's souls die with their bodies. Character of families changes. Plowmen come to the throne and kings return to the plow. nor will you find that nobility lasts much longer than virtue. Then too you denigrate our race, and reckon the Albanians are no better than sheep. You abuse us in your usual way. You seem not to know the origin of our race. Our ancestors were Epirotes, of the same stock that produced that Pyrrhus, whose invasion the Romans could barely withstand, who captured Tarentum and many other Italian towns by force of arms. You cannot compare the valiant Epirotes with the Tarentines, a sodden race born to catch fish. And if you say that Albania is part of Macedonia, you grant us even nobler ancestors, those who went with Alexander all the way to India, conquering with incredible success every nation between here and there that opposed them. From them descend these men whom you call sheep. But if we are sheep, and the way of the world has not changed, why do you, who are men, flee before us sheep? In recent days we have had plenty of chances to see who the sheep are, the Albanians or the Apulians, and I have not yet found any man who can stand the sight of my face for long. I have come to know well the armor on your men's backs, but I have yet to see a breastplate, nor do I know the face of any except the ones I've put in chains. And I do not seek your house, since I'm satisfied with my own. But I am doing my best to prevent you, who have often ousted neighboring princes from their states, from ousting a king as well, and from carrying out your unholy plan to invade his kingdom. If I should die in the process, and find a tomb, as you prophesy, then God, the King of all, will still reward my soul, if not for accomplishing, then at least for planning and attempting a glorious deed. Farewell.